One soldier can't save 30 men all on his own. Not after an RPG explodes 6 inches from his head. Not with shrapnel lodged in his brain. The human body just doesn't work that way. Except that's complete rubbish. Private Johnson Beharry didn't care what the human body was supposed to do. May and June 2004, Al-Amarah, Iraq. 2 ambushes, 2 impossible rescues, and 1 Victoria Cross. This is the story of the soldier who saved 30 men while sustaining life-threatening injuries. Welcome back to the war. Let's start with who Johnson Beharry is, because understanding where he came from makes what he did even more remarkable. Born in 1979 in Grenada, a small island in the Caribbean. Population 115,000. Not exactly a military superpower. Beharry grew up poor. No running water, no electricity. He worked the land with his grandmother. Nothing about this childhood suggested he will become one of the most decorated soldiers in British history. In 1999, at the age of 20, Beharry moved to the UK. He worked odd jobs, construction, security, nothing stuck. Then in 2001, he made a decision that would change his life. He joined the British Army. Beharry was assigned to the Princess of Wales Royal Regiment, the Tigers, one of the oldest infantry regiments in the British Army. He trained as a driver, specifically a warrior driver. The Warrior is a 25-ton armoured fighting vehicle. It carries a crew of 3 and can transport 7 infantry soldiers. In Iraq, it was the workhorse of the British Army. In 2004, Beharry was deployed to Iraq, to a city called Al-Amarah, and Al-Amarah was about to become one of the most dangerous places on earth. By May 2004, Al-Amarah was a war zone. The Mahdi army had taken control of large parts of the city. British forces were under constant attack. Ambushes, IEDs, RPGs. Every patrol was a gamble. On the night of May 1st, 2004, Private Beharry was driving his Warrior through the streets of Al-Amarah. His vehicle was part of a convoy. They were responding to a distress call. Another British unit was pinned down and needed extraction. Then the ambush hit. RPGs came from everywhere. Rooftops, alleyways, windows. An RPG slammed into his vehicle. The explosion was deafening. The Warrior's commander, as well as multiple soldiers, were injured, and Beharry's periscope optics were damaged, which meant he had to drive with his hatch open to see, exposing his face. Think about that. The driver's hatch is the only thing protecting the driver from enemy fire. With it open, Beharry was completely exposed, head sticking out of the vehicle, in the middle of an ambush, with RPGs and bullets flying everywhere. Most drivers would have stopped, taken cover, called for help, but Beharry didn't stop. He kept driving. With his hatch open, completely exposed to enemy fire, Beharry drove his Warrior through the kill zone, taking his own Warrior and leading 5 other warriors to safety. He then extracted his wounded comrades from the vehicle, all while being exposed to further enemy fire. Private Johnson Beharry sustained injuries, but he wasn't done. Six weeks later, June 11th, 2004, same city, same enemy, different ambush. Beharry was driving his Warrior through Al-Amarah again. Another patrol, another night, and then the RPG started flying. This time, the hit was catastrophic. An RPG struck the front of Beharry's Warrior. It exploded 6 inches from his face. Just 6 inches. The length of a pencil. That's how close Johnson Beharry came to instant death. The explosion sent shrapnel tearing into his face, into his skull, into his brain. His helmet was destroyed. His head was a mess of blood and metal. By any medical standard, he should have been dead, or at the very least, unconscious. But Johnson Beharry was still conscious, and he was still driving. With shrapnel lodged in his brain, blood pouring down his face, vision blurred, Beharry kept his hands on the controls. He kept the warrior moving. He drove his vehicle out of the kill zone. He drove it to safety. He saved his entire crew again. Only when the warrior reached the secure location did Beharry finally stop. He opened his hatch. He tried to climb out, and then he collapsed. What followed was a miracle. Beharry was evacuated, and then surgeons operated on his brain multiple times. They removed shrapnel piece by piece. They removed and repaired what they could, but the damage was severe. When Beharry finally woke up, the doctors told him he would never be the same. The brain damage was permanent. He would struggle with memory, with concentration, with basic tasks. But Johnson Beharry was alive, and that was more than anyone expected. For Johnson Beharry, it would be a long road to recovery. And then came the news that would change his life forever. In March 2005, it was announced that Private Johnson Beharry would be awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest military honour in the United Kingdom, the medal that only the bravest soldiers earn. Beharry was the first living recipient of the Victoria Cross in 40 years. The last living recipient had been awarded the medal in 1965. 4 decades, every VC had been posthumous, given to soldiers who died in combat. Johnson Beharry broke that streak. He earned the Victoria Cross and lived to receive it. On April the 27th, 2005, Beharry stood before Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace. She pinned the Victoria Cross to his chest. The citation read, "For valour of the highest order. 2 separate acts of heroism, 30 soldiers saved." Here's the tragic part. Beharry was still recovering from his injuries when he was awarded the VC. When asked about this, Beharry said something remarkable. He said the medal doesn't belong to him, it belongs to everyone who served in Iraq, everyone who didn't come home. He wears it for them. So what does it take to save 30 men? It's not about being fearless. It's not about being superhuman. It's about making a choice. In the worst moment of your life, when everything is falling apart, when the easy thing is to stop and hide, you choose to keep going. You choose to save the men next to you, even if it kills you. Johnson Beharry made that choice, and he paid for it with the price of his brain. Today, Beharry is still alive. He works with veteran charities. He speaks about his experiences. He carries the VC not as a symbol of his own bravery, but as a reminder of everyone who served alongside him. When asked what the medal means to him, he said, "I didn't do it for the medal. I did it because those were my mates, and you don't leave your mates behind." That's what it means to earn the Victoria Cross. There's one thing I'm genuinely curious about. I'm going to put a question in the community tab after this video goes live. If you watch this far, I really value your take on it. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and check out our merchant membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.